Alright, folks, we're back. We're still fighting this containment guy, because what else will we do with our lives?
So my Metopia team.
Yes.
Or rather, the team I helped my girlfriend build in Metopia was... Our main character was a tank, so she controlled herself as a tank, which lets you shoot out party members, which does a lot of damage, but also makes them angry. And she also had her best friend as a chef, who has an ability that can deal a lot of damage, but makes an ally angry at random. And when your allies are angry at each other, they won't cooperate, and sometimes they get obsessed with the fact that they're angry. Then she had me as a performer, whose most prioritized skill when people are angry is to diffuse the anger. So, like, she could use these abilities that dealt lots of damage but made people angry, because I was alive and always making them unangry. So it wasn't an issue. And then I can't remember what the fourth party member was.
Probably just a guy.
Something else that did some decent damage, I'm pretty sure.
I will commend...
Yeah, like, you can at least come up with stuff like that.
Yeah, right. I will commend Metopia for this as well. There's at least a meaningful post-game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I can almost guarantee you this has no post-game.
Right. Can I say
the main game had zero substance.
I'll say this.
So what is the post-game supposed to have?
I'll say this. It threw me for a loop the first time I had a game that like didn't actually have even have a post-game. Like, I think it was when I first beat Mario and Luigi Dream Team, where there's no post-game. The credits roll, and then you load up the file again, and it just loads you right before the final boss.
Yeah, you're like, what? What?
Yeah, because the only other...
But I just beat it.
Yeah, right. I think the only other games I had beaten at that point were Pokemon games, so I was, like, ready for, like... Oh yeah, what's next? What's next in the story? Like, what else can I explore? And then, oh, that's nice, nothing. Well, okay, not nothing. There is stuff to do around the world, but, like... The world isn't saved, you know what I mean?
I mean, they should at least give you the option to, like, replay levels.
Oh, yeah, they had, like... I remember they have, like, a boss rush mode. And there's even, like, special, like, nightmare versions of bosses for you to, like, lose your mind beating. Here's gonna be a little random. I was doing some thinking today about some, like, games, and it occurred to me that Pokemon Ranger and Fossil Fighters kind of have a similar track record with their games.
What do you mean?
So you had the first game, which was an okay game. It wasn't amazing, but it laid the groundwork for something that could be really cool. Then you had the second.
Right.
Then you had the second game, which was viewed by many fans of the series as the best game in said franchise.
Peak Shadows of Almia and Champions.
Exactly. And then you have the third game, which killed the franchise.
Okay, Guardian Signs did nowhere near as much damage as Frontier did, though.
I 100% see. That's the one caveat, is the fact that Frontiers and Guardian Signs did, like, opposite ends of the spectrum, in my opinion. Where, like, Guardian Signs didn't change up enough, I feel, whereas...
Yeah, it was just another Pokemon Ranger game.
Yeah, it had the neat idea of, like, drawing special symbols with your,
you could use Pokemon in Shadows of Almia too. That was the problem. Like, you could still ride an Empoleon, or use Regirock to break a rock or something like that.
Yeah, that's what
it didn't change enough.
So yeah, then you got Frontier, which changed way too much.
Car, redo all of the Venusaur designs.
Redo the entire battle system.
Yeah, redo the entire battle system.
I'll say this: the story was kind of cool, though.
Sure.
Like you're like a ranger type thing. Like you're like a almost like a Vestroia cop.
That's solid.
I thought it was.
I'll take that.
I thought. Have you played Frontier, Chris?
No.
That's fair.
I saw it was cars and I stopped.
I would say that Fossil Fighters Frontier is the kind of game you should play once. And that's it.
Like Bakugan challenges of whatever I should play once.
No, this is a game you should stay away from. Frontiers, I will say, it was fun enough through the one playthrough. I kind of want to replay through it again, mostly because I want to make a video series where I articulate my anger towards this game. And I've only played it once, and that was like years ago. So, when articulating my rage, I want to be able to do it with, you know, the utmost care that it deserves in tearing this game a new one.
Champions of the Street.
I mean, what more can be said?
Yeah, right, honestly. I was actually thinking about, so I want to pick up Shadows of Almia on the Wii U eShop so that way we can play it on the channel at some point.
That would be dope.
Oh, yeah.
I really got to play a lot of the GameCube era games.
Good luck finding them for good prices.
Yeah. Here's hoping eventually Nintendo Switch Online includes GameCube games, or they start just remastering GameCube games.
I don't know which I would prefer, because I would prefer to own them, but at the same time, that shit's gonna get real expensive real quick.
Wait a minute, it just occurred to me. Wait, if you're saying Ranger or Shadows of Almia on the Wii U, how do you, like... Again, I've never interacted with a Wii U as much, but, like, how do you, like, you know, capture a Pokemon? You just, like, start poking your Wii U pad or something?
Well, yeah, you use the gamepad because it has a touchscreen.
Oh, does the gamepad come with a stylus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh. It's actually a rather nice stylus, I will admit.
Yeah, it is. It's a chunker.
It is. It's very nice.
That's a full-on pen.
It's literally just like the DS stylus but bigger.
The Wii U crashed so that the Switch could fly.
I will say that I kind of wish I did get a Wii U during that era. Because I do feel like I missed out on something.
I mean, at that time I was like a high schooler who like barely afforded the 3DS. You know, it's one of those I saw it because Smash Bros. Coming out. I'm like, oh man, I want it. I guess I'll just wait for the next console because I can't afford it or anything.
Yeah, and I will say I almost bought a Wii U in like 2016. And one of my friends was like, "Nah, dude, Nintendo's gonna release their next console soon. Just wait." I'm like, "Okay." And then the Switch came out, and now here we are.
I am curious to see if the next gen console is gonna be like a Switch 2.0, like an actual one, not like the stupid OLED, or is it gonna be just a completely new thing?
I'm hoping that they just make a more powerful Switch.
Yeah.
Because that's all they need, really.
Mm-hmm. I think whatever system they make next has to be compatible with Nintendo Switch cartridges.
Uh-huh.
Because that's the thing. I hope that they come out with a more juiced up Switch in the next like year. But they have games like Splatoon 3 on the Switch. The game will probably outlive its 2-year update plan.
Uh-huh.
And like they're developing Tears of the Kingdom, and what, they have it out for like a year, and then update it with something newer? No, it would need to be backwards compatible.
Although I have heard some people say that like There was the theory that the Switch 2 would launch with Tears of the Kingdom, but clearly that's not going to happen. Because it's like, what, two months out now? Wouldn't that be a twist? They just shadow drop a console.
They really could. They really could.
I mean, I'm curious. What's the next step? Because, like, I can't fathom what you do after the Switch. I mean, they already adapted something like the Steam Deck, so they're already just jumping on the handheld train again. But like, what do you do after that? The Nintendo VR?
Good question. We need a system with unfathomable power. What kind of power? Unfathomable. Without fathom. Oh, okay.
Was that the dad from Mega Man?
Yeah, Space Dad. So you're like my Space Dad? Yeah, I'm like your Space Dad. And you are? I'm your Space Stepmom.
This is for Space Stepmom. You lied to me.
That is one of my favorite details of that movie. He still believes in Space Stepmom.
I saw a meme where it was the when they find Metro Man and someone put the caption of my parents when I finally come down out of my room for over 8 hours. I'm like, you're alive? I'm alive. It's like, you better have a good explanation. Speak, apparition.
Oh boy.
The chances are, if your movie has meme potential, it's probably good.
That's debatable.
Well, even that, it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be like, it's memorable. It's not boring. I think boring's the worst thing that could happen to a movie.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
Containment car.
Oh my god, you're fighting another 2319 Monsters Inc. dude.
Right? You know what's one thing that I really feel like I missed out on with, like, Nintendo?
Well,
Club Nintendo and, like, Nintendo Wi-Fi for the DS and Wii. Like, there were so...
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a good
no,
one.
that was it. I just said yeah.
Yeah, like, there was so many cool things that I could have, like, taken advantage of and gotten. Like, I got a good amount of, like, games for the Wii and for the DS, so, like, I feel like I probably could have gotten some good, like, rewards from that site. And as for the Wii Shop channel, man, there's so many games that are just, like, gone forever that I'll probably never get to experience.
They don't really have like a lot of like, the Switch kind of feels disconnected on that front. They don't really have a lot of like, you know, I'm thinking back to like Pokemon when you can like sync up with other people, or they're not in the sense that like, didn't they have like some sort of like club, like a Mii club? You can like, what was it called? It was like Mii Fest or something. It was like on the 3DS.
Oh, Festival Plaza. No. Yes? Yeah, it was Festival Plaza.
They don't really have anything like that.
Yeah, which I find it disappointing just how much they've, like, kind of thrown away the Miis, you know?
Like, I mean, yeah, you can make them, it's just, you don't get to, like, do anything.
They don't do anything anymore. There's nothing to do with them. Like,
That's why I was confused when they took out their Switch, like, you know how they take out, like, the mainline games, and then they take out, like, their little, like, you know, like Wii Sports or stuff like that. There wasn't really anything. They should have just taken out Nintendo Switch Sports like that. They shouldn't have just done like 1, 2, 3, or just taken out like generic games that were going to end up at like the discount store like,
yeah, right.
Like 2 years after.
Also, why the fuck was Nintendo Switch Sports, not Switch Sports, why the fuck was 1-2 Switch not a pack-in game?
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
question.
the bundle games was the main reason I bought like the Wii, because it came with stuff.
Yeah. Like, I got friggin' 1-2 Switch at a pawn shop for like $10. Case and all. And I was like, this is a fantastic price for this weird ass game. And you know what? I don't play it anymore because I have better things to play on my Switch now.
Understandable.
The era of the Switch being the new novelty is gone, and me only having like Zelda, which I wasn't interested in at the time to play, is not here anymore. We'll have to talk more about Zelda next time. Bye.